employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion, and learn how they can help you.
If you're anything like I was, the thought of getting older was the last thing on your mind. But here we are. For me, it started slowly. The lack of energy, never being in the mood. And when I was, I could never perform at my best. I tried the pills and other treatments with minimal results, and all but given up on my sex life. Then I found the doctors at New Male Medical Center. Wow, they made a new male out of me. Feel like I'm 25 again. I have renewed vigor, so much more energy, and no longer worry about my performance. New Male treated me like my situation was one of a kind, with a custom treatment plan that really works. I feel great. They can create one for you too. It does not matter if you suffer from low testosterone, erectile dysfunction, or just want to last longer. New Male will help you.
Call New Male Medical Center today at 352-404-4779. 352-404-4779. That's 352-404-4779. It will change your life. 352-404-4779.
Loco Graphics would like to invite you to their second location on 200 next to Sonny's Barbecue. They are officially open to help you out with all your sign, vehicle wraps, and printing needs. Visit them and mention this ad for free business cards. Need a logo? We've got you covered. From business cards all the way to menus and flyers. Now 2 locations to better serve you. On Merricamp, half a mile east from Forest High School, and on 200 by Sonny's Barbecue. Loco Graphics, impacting your customers. Like us on Facebook.
5 minutes after 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Memorial Day Monday. It's a beautiful day out there. Nice day to go out and do something. Don't forget there are a couple of events happening right in town. One at the Veterans Park at 9:30, and then at 11:30 at Highlands Memorial Park, about a mile away. So you could probably be taking both events and just spend your Memorial Day that way. It is the thing everybody says, and it is worth saying, is that, you know, we do get caught up in the unofficial kickoff of summer feeling of Memorial Day. We do get caught up in the food and the family get-togethers, and it's just a beautiful thing that we do that. And gosh, I wouldn't want to not do that. In fact, those men and women who we honor on Memorial Day died so that we would have the freedom to do that. You know, when you hear about these situations like ISIS taking over a town in Iraq, and then there was a story I was reading this morning that the Iraqi army basically just kind of let them have it. You know, hello. Well, our guys won't let you have it, okay? No. You're not going to have this place, okay? And the reason you're not going to have it is because we have such a dedicated and well fine-tuned military. And thank you all for doing that. And those who have passed is what we're remembering today. And I know you know that. It just is worth saying it again. It's just worth saying it again. I know you know. I learned a long time ago that the smartest radio listeners are the ones who listen to talk radio. There are those who think that talk radio hosts and talk radio listeners are all one-sided, all think only one way. And it's not true. I find our listeners and most of the hosts that I know are open-minded about thinking perhaps a different way, but it is thinking that's the key. And so I know I'm not telling you. In other words, I know you know what I'm saying. It's just worth repeating. So Galen Unald has not called in, which and I'm not glad to see that he didn't call in, but in a way it makes me happy because it means he's probably spending time with his family, which is awesome. Galen himself is a Navy veteran, and he'll quickly point out that it's not Veterans Day, it's Memorial Day, but hey, I like to honor everybody, okay? But just the idea that somebody's spending time with their family, as you work as hard as most people we know do,
yes,
and many of you out there, you're in the same boat. It is nice to see people taking some time off, and especially right here. You live in the place people are coming to from all over the world. We have millions of guests right now here in Florida. They came here because it's beautiful here.
Yeah.
And when you live here, sometimes you get jaded by it and you forget about it. You know, the one thing that the tourists don't usually know about or the springs. Like the tourists will go to Disney, the tourists will go to the beaches, the tourists will go to Universal and Busch Gardens maybe. They might go to Miami. They might come to the state park. They might go to Silver Springs, which would be nice. But very few of them actually do. Yesterday we got to meet a lady from Israel, though, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, very cool.
In the music that we play, we have a variety of different ethnicities or nationalities represented, and the one song that caught her attention was Hava Nagila. And so she came over and she asked me in Hebrew if I knew how to speak Hebrew, and I said, "What? What?" And then the lady she was with, she said, she's asking if you know how to speak Hebrew. I said, "Oh gosh, no."
Yeah.
No, I had no idea what she said. It almost sounded like she was speaking German. It sounded similar to me. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's very fascinating. We meet such interesting people.
So Galen did not call in, and on his behalf, let's remind you of the reason he calls in, which is to encourage us to become blood donors. If you can get over to the blood center today, you can do it today. I believe they're open today.
Yep.
I believe they're open every day except for Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Is that the 2 days that
I believe so,
they're closed?
yeah. Christmas and Thanksgiving.
And so if you get a chance to donate blood, it saves lives. There is no blood supply without donors, and it's as easy as just laying down. Also, be sure to thank the folks at Penn Flooring, because they are the ones who sponsor the segment that we have each morning with Galen Unold and Life South. It is they, Penn Flooring, who gives us the opportunity to take some airtime and just simply say, hey, if you donate blood, somebody's life will be saved.
Right.
And so thank Penn Flooring. They've got some beautiful flooring options. They've got carpeting. They've got vinyl. They've got wood flooring. They've got vinyl that doesn't look like vinyl. It looks like brick. It looks like stone. It looks like... They've got vinyl that looks like wood.
Yeah, it's so cool.
And there's probably some names that I don't even know what to tell you. But go over there and check them out and thank them for sponsoring the segment we do with Galen. They have been in business. Penn Flooring has been in business for more than a quarter of a century. They have a showroom at 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. The bridge is the McKay Williams Bridge. If you look at the sign on the side of it, you'll see it's dedicated to those two former governors that had Ocala connections. The McKay Williams Bridge, 1201 Southwest 17th Street is their address. 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just by that McKay Williams Bridge.
Yeah.
All right, so you want to hear some things about Memorial Day?
Yes, I do.
It started with the Civil War. Memorial Day was a response to the unprecedented carnage, as we mentioned before, 600,000 soldiers, if you combine the North and the South. The loss of life and its effect on communities throughout the country led to spontaneous commemorations of the deceased. In 1864, women from Boalsburg, Pennsylvania, put flowers on the graves of their dead loved ones from the just-fought Battle of Gettysburg. The next year, a group of women decorated the graves of soldiers buried in a Vicksburg, Mississippi ceremony. That was 1864. In 1866, women from Columbus, Mississippi, laid flowers on the graves of both Union and Confederate soldiers.
So Gettysburg was only like 151 years ago then. Isn't that something?
There you go.
It really seems close. Those wars.
Yeah, in 1866, women from Columbus, Mississippi laid flowers on the graves of both Union and Confederate soldiers. In the same month, in Carbondale, Illinois, 219 Civil War veterans marched through town in memory of the fallen to Woodlawn Cemetery, where Union hero Major General John A. Logan delivered the principal address. The ceremony gave Carbondale its claim to the first organized community-wide Memorial Day observance. Are you familiar with Carbondale?
No, I'm not.
Waterloo, New York began holding an annual community Memorial Day service on May 5th of 1866. Although many towns claimed the title, it was Waterloo that won congressional recognition as the birthplace of Memorial Day. General Logan, the speaker at the Carbondale gathering I just mentioned, also was commander of the Grand Army of the Republic, an organization of Union veterans. On May 5th, 1868, he issued General Orders Number 11, which set aside May 30th, 1868, for the purpose of strewing with flowers or otherwise decorating the graves of comrades who died in defense of their country during the late rebellion. That's how it was worded. The orders expressed hope that the observance would be kept up from year to year while a survivor of the war remains to honor the memory of their departed comrades. Of course, it goes beyond the Civil War at this point in time. The holiday was long known as Decoration Day. I'm sure many of you know that.
Yep.
Because of the idea of decorating the graves with flowers, wreaths, and flags. The name Memorial Day goes back to 1882, but the older name didn't disappear until after World War II. Federal law declared Memorial Day the official name in 1967.
Gosh.
And by the way, calling it a national holiday is a little bit of a misnomer, because while there are 10 federal holidays created by Congress, including Memorial Day, a federal holiday applies really only to federal employees and the District of Columbia.
Oh.
So Federal Memorial Day, established in 1888, allowed for Civil War veterans, many of whom were drawing a government paycheck, to honor their fallen comrades without being docked a day's pay. That's the reason for it being a federal day. For the rest of us, the holiday was enacted state by state. New York was the first state to designate Memorial Day as a legal holiday, and that was in 1873. And most northern states followed suit by the 1890s. So let's continue this. Do you find this interesting?
Very
interesting. Good. Because I want to do more of this. This a real cool thing about the grave of the unknown, the tomb of the unknown soldier when we come back, okay? We'll be right back. This is WOCA Ocala.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. For today, Memorial Day, it'll be partly sunny with a breezy afternoon. There can be a couple of thunderstorms around during the afternoon and evening hours. The high 86 on the coast, but 92 inland. And partly to mostly cloudy later tonight, though 72 to 76. For tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sun, and becoming breezy in the afternoon with a thunderstorm around. High 86 at the coast, 92 inland. For Wednesday, clouds and sun, high 86 to 90. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Ooh, ouch. Does pain have you glued to the couch? Yes, unfortunately it's true that every year we must get older, but that doesn't mean we have to deal with pain in our back, knees, or shoulder. If your muscles and joints are sore, don't worry anymore. Come get acupuncture from me and you'll be pain-free. Acupuncture starts as low as $35 at a Better You Healthcare. Call me, Dr. Erica Olstein, at 615-5566. Stop your pain from driving you insane.
So you need a credit card, but how do you choose? Let's compare the big banks to Florida Credit Union. They have rewards, and we do too. They have customer service. Hello, 24/7. They have celebrities. Hey, Danny. But with Florida Credit Union, there's no annual fee, no liability for fraudulent charges, and no 22% interest rates. Choose Florida Credit Union, and you'll not only have a great credit card, but you'll have the support and personal touch that the big banks, well, can't touch. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Washing a paper cup with water can make it feel better, at least temporarily. You probably know that grapes contain compounds that are proven to improve our health, but those same compounds are toxic to dogs, so never give them grapes or raisins. Short dates? Send the message that we're busy, which makes us interesting. They also let us part on a high note and walk away thinking, I can't wait to see that person again.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Career Source Citrus Levy Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source Citrus Levy Marion and learn how they can help you.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
All right, 18 minutes after 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Nice looking Monday morning. It's not just Monday, it's Memorial Day, and hopefully you are doing something, at least putting up a flag. And Hank Whittier gave us a really nice American flag last Thursday to put up here in the studio. So today we'll be on a mission to see if we can find a stand.
Yes.
So we can have that flag up here before sunset on Memorial Day. That'll be my goal right there, right?
Yeah, that'd be wonderful.
Nice weather today, real quickly. 72 degrees here at the studios at the Paddock Mall, and partly cloudy sky. Oh, it does show rain today.
Oh,
now it changed.
Oh,
it does show some rain. So I guess there's probably like afternoon rain expected. So 94 degrees the expected high, huh?
Sprinkles then maybe, huh?
Who knows? Doesn't say.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm not really looking at a really good forecast. Though. I'm looking at, what am I looking at anyway? Well, something from weather.com.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's go to the phone. Somebody called in. Good morning. Thank you for calling. Happy Memorial Day.
I wanted to thank you and Robin for coming in to entertain us this morning.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for listening.
This is Pete.
Hey, Pete.
It's nice to have somebody that's on duty, so to speak. I have to work today. If everybody would just stop using water for 24 hours, I could take a day off. I'd really appreciate it. It's really interesting how you were discussing Memorial Day and how the northern states adopted it and the southern states didn't really get on board with it as the official holiday. They had their own Decoration Day until after World War II. And it's interesting to me that even in the 1940s, we were still trying to stitch that wound of the Civil War, that separated this mission.
Absolutely. And to be honest with you, when you go online and you look at the discussions from people, and I've experienced it here, just kind of as a moderator, I guess. I mean, there are still people who say that the still arguing the Civil War and what it was about and why it was fought and all that. So,
yeah, it's amazing that, and the government tried so hard to get people, back together, every way they could. Like, for example, during World War II, you've heard of places like Fort Hood and Fort Bragg and Fort Benning, they're in the news frequently. And all of those army bases are named after Confederate generals because they were trying to make the people back then feel like we were all part of one heritage, no matter what happened, during the Civil War and Reconstruction and the Jim Crow laws and all that stuff. They wanted to bring the nation together and say we all share a common heritage, even if you're an immigrant or if your grandpa fought in the Civil War. They were trying to get the people to say we're all part of one national consciousness. And I think it's interesting that now, I don't want to start a political discussion, but right now it seems like we're being pushed in the opposite direction. But anyway, I'm really enjoying the show, and I'll be waiting for the Fun with Joe so I can jump in and give Joe all my points today.
All right, thank you, Pete. Be careful out there. Thank you for your participation, as always, in the show.
Yeah, and for always doing for the community. You are such a giver, so amazing.
I think you hung up. All right, so let's get back to this. As Pete mentioned, the South wasn't necessarily so gung-ho about being part of this whole Memorial Day thing at first. And that was then, but this is now. The states of the former Confederacy were unenthusiastic about the holiday, memorializing those who, in General Logan's words, quote, united to suppress the late rebellion, unquote. The South did not adopt the May 30th Memorial Day until after World War I, by which time its purpose had been broadened to include those who had died in all the country's wars. In 1971, the Monday holiday law shifted Memorial Day from May 30th to the last Monday of the month, which is kind of the way all the holidays were, and we lived through that. I remember thinking, isn't that crazy that all the holidays are now going to be on Mondays? And
exactly.
And it is as it is.
Except July 4th. I think that's the only one they don't change.
Well, they don't change Christmas. They don't change Thanksgiving. There's a few. On May 30th, 1868, President Ulysses S. Grant presided over the first Memorial Day ceremony at Arlington National Cemetery, which, until 1864, was Confederate General Robert E. Lee's plantation.
Oh, interesting.
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
I never knew. Arlington National Cemetery was Robert E. Lee's plantation.
Isn't that fascinating stuff?
Some 5,000 people attended on a spring day, which the New York Times reported was somewhat too warm for comfort. The principal speaker was James Garfield, a Civil War general, and a Republican congressman from the state of Ohio. And, of course, he went on to become president later on. He said, there's part of his speech here that I can read to you, quote, "I am oppressed with a sense of impropriety of uttering words on this occasion. If silence is ever golden, it must be beside the graves of 15,000 men whose lives were more significant than speech, and whose death was a poem, the music of which can never be sung." Unquote.
Wow. Wow.
Nicely written piece, huh?
That gave me chills.
All of the songs, speeches, and sermons ended. The participants helped to decorate the graves of the Union and Confederate soldiers buried in the cemetery that day.
Gosh.
And here's the piece I was telling you about with the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. On the tomb, it says, quote, "Here rests in honored glory an American soldier known but to God," unquote. That's the inscription on the Tomb of the Unknowns, established at Arlington National Cemetery to inter the remains of the first unknown soldier, a World War I fighter, on November 11th, 1921. Unknown soldiers from World War II and the Korean War were subsequently interred in the tomb on Memorial Day 1958.
Oh.
An emotional President Ronald Reagan presided over the interment of 6 bones, the remains of an unidentified Vietnam War soldier on November 28, 1984, and then 14 years later, those remains were disinterred because they were no longer unknown. Spurred by an investigation by CBS News, the Defense Department removed the remains from the tomb of the unknowns for DNA testing. The once unknown fighter was Air Force pilot Lieutenant Michael Joseph Blassie.
Oh, thank God they found out who it is.
His jet crashed in South Vietnam in 1972. The CBS investigation suggested that the Military Review Board that had changed the designation on Lieutenant Blassie's remains to unknown did so under pressure from veterans groups to honor a casualty from the Vietnam War.
Oh.
I don't know if that's true, but that's what they said. That, according to the New York Times in 1998. Lieutenant Blassie was reburied near his hometown of St. Louis. His crypt at Arlington remains permanently empty.
Gosh.
How about that?
Isn't that something?
On Memorial Day weekend in 1988, 2,500 motorcycles rode into Washington, D.C. The Rolling Thunder thing is happening this weekend too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was this weekend. It was Saturday.
By 2002, that was the first time of Rolling Thunder. Okay, 2,500 motorcycles that year. By 2002, 300,000 motorcyclists.
Yeah.
Many of them veterans. There may have been 500,000 participants in 2005. Gosh, I wonder what it is right now.
I think it was Saturday, if I recall correctly. The Rolling Thunder in D.C.
Yeah, I was reading about it too, but I didn't see a number. Let's see if I can get a number. Rolling Thunder.
There's a nice picture of a biker, and then he had the lady on the back, and she had the flag, American flag, stretched out behind her, so it was flapping in the breeze. And oh gosh, that gave me chills.
Let's see, the Rolling Thunder. They have their own website. Yes, it's today. It was since the 22nd. So the 22nd through the 25th is the Rolling Thunder thing. Wonder how many bikes do they have?
Gosh, that probably surpassed the 300,000 mark that you were just reading about. I'll betcha.
The Rolling Thunder Run mission is to educate, facilitate, and never forget by means of a demonstration for service members that were abandoned after the Vietnam War. Rolling Thunder has also evolved into a display of patriotism and respect for all who defend our country. And P.S., can I add this? That these motorcyclists are more representative of motorcycle groups than those knuckleheads in Texas.
Yeah, for sure.
Come on.
For sure.
The Rolling Thunder First Amendment Demonstration Run is an annual ride and gathering that first started in 1988, as I just mentioned.
Yep.
But where does it doesn't say a number though, so I don't know what the number would be this time around.
And right here in Marion County, our Abate motorcycle chapter in the forest, Bridget and Russell Pace, they were just honored.
Yeah,
by
I
the
saw
county
something
commission.
on Facebook.
Thank you both for doing what you're doing to bring awareness for everything.
Anyway, several southern states continue to set aside a day for honoring the Confederate dead, which is usually called Confederate Memorial Day. It's on the fourth Monday in April in Alabama, April 26th in Georgia, June 3rd in Louisiana and Tennessee, the last Monday in April in Mississippi, May 10th in North and South Carolina, January 19th in Texas, and the last Monday in May in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be today, right?
Yes.
So that in Virginia, so it just happens to fall on Memorial Day. But,
Isn't that something?
all right, interesting stuff. So I don't see here. Let's see how many Rolling Thunder motorcycles were there.
Yeah,
Rolling Thunder, ready to roar into the D.C. Let's see how many it says on NBC, Channel 4 out of Washington, D.C.
Oh, okay.
See if it gives a number.
It's most amazing. These are the good motorcyclists, like you pointed out. They're the ones that are constructive, not.
They're 99%.
Yeah.
That one little percentage down in Texas does not represent what I've witnessed with motorcycle groups.
Yeah.
In fact, to even call it, to even somehow presume just because you're riding two wheels somehow makes you different than those on four.
Exactly.
I'll never understand that. I've tried my hardest to put together a sedan group. Nobody wants to join me.
That's right, a sedan poker run.
I pretend I'm in one. Every day when I'm on 200, I pretend I'm in a sedan.
That's right.
Brotherhood. The brotherhood of sedans. All right, we'll take a little break. We'll be right back. We've got news bites on the other side. Don't forget to donate blood. Thank you, Galen, and have a great day.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. More severe weather blasting the Southwest.
It's a complete disaster. It's very heartbreaking.
He's in Wimberley, Texas, where 400 homes were destroyed by heavy rains and flooding, 3 people missing, and it's not over.
It does look like there could be some tornadoes along with a large hail and damaging wind risk. This could be across much of